Hey guys, this is Tristan from VariousTechThings, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Alfa Genus IEM from RockJaw Audio. Now, if you don't know who RockJaw is, I wouldn't be surprised, to be perfectly honest, because they're a fairly new company. They're based in the UK. The Alfa Genus is the first product that they're kind of pushing towards American markets, and I must say that I'm really happy with the way that it performs. Now, before we get off into sound quality and accessories and packaging and all of that, I just want to talk about how good this IEM actually looks. Keep in mind that this comes priced at $50, that's what it hovers around on Amazon, but it's constructed out of aluminum and ebony. And that of course leads us straight into the build quality on the Alfa Genus. One thing that I was impressed by are the cables on this, which are thicker than your standard earphone and are kind of twisted. Pretty nice, they feel fairly secure. However, the strain relief right at the top of the cable where it connects to the driver housing is just a little bit shorter than I would like. Another positive for the build quality is the jack that comes on the end of the cable, which is very minimal and should fit into almost any phone case. It's just well designed and it's nice. Another complaint that I have though is that there's no cable cinch. So if you need to tighten that cord up so that it doesn't billow out when you sit down, you're going to be hard pressed to do that. One of the other negatives is that the left and right markings on the back of the Alfa Genus are actually a bit hard to see, which can lead to some confusion onto which one goes in the right and left ear. Alright, let's talk about the packaging for the Alfa Genus. So it comes in a hard black cardboard box with a clear plastic window on the front and back to showcase the filters, ear tips, and the IEMs themselves without actually having to open the box. When you slide the box open, you'll find that the interior box actually has a couple of flaps that you can open to reveal the accessories. I think the packaging is good. It holds the product securely, it displays the product well, and really the only complaint that I have about it is that if you accidentally push the filters too far into the foam, it can be just a little bit difficult to get them out. So let's move straight on to the accessories of the Alfa Genus. We get this soft cloth carrying bag, 4 sets of included ear tips, one is already on the IEM when you receive them, and a shirt clip. The included ear tips aren't that awesome, they aren't super sound isolating. The good news is that you can put on some custom foam ones or something like that and you'll have a lot more isolation. There's a microphone included on the left hand cable, which works well to find the left ear since the left and right markings aren't very visible, and the microphone itself is okay. Here's a sound sample from that. This is a test recording of the microphone on the Alfa Genus. It is just hanging from my ear and everything is at the default level. So as you can see, it's not perfect. There's definitely a lot of background noise and static, but it does capture your voice, albeit at a pretty low level. I've been using the Alfa Genus for about 3 weeks now, and I have about 80 hours of combined listening and burning in time on them. Now, I don't think that burning in is necessary for one thing. However, if I wasn't really listening, I might just leave the sound on and kind of figure, it can't hurt. All of the audio files that I'm using are 320 kilobit per second Spotify Premium streamed. Sometimes I'm going through an ALO Audio RX Mark IIIB Plus amp, although honestly at this price point you don't need an amp, and it would be a problem if for some reason you were required to have an amp. So let's talk about the sound a little bit. We've got the filtering system included, which has the black, gold / champagne, and silver filters. They are advertising the filters as black being reference class, gold being neutral, and the silver being enhanced bass. My favorite filter is the silver filter as opposed to the gold filter, which most people seem to like. So here's what I've observed. The black filter is very clear, but it also kind of gets rid of the bass a lot in order to get that clarity, and brings up the mids and highs so much that it's a very bright filter. The silver one is more of a V-shaped sound, and is pretty warm. It's got accent in the treble and the bass, which is why I enjoy it so much. However, most reviewers say that the gold / champagne filter is the middle ground between the black and the silver filter. In my case, this wasn't true. The gold filter was much more bass heavy, so much so that it wasn't even fun to listen to, and I'm a bass head. That's not something I would have expected. Honestly, I think my pair of champagne filters might have had some sort of manufacturing defect. If you actually look inside the filters, you can see the dampening foam used, and I think there might be just a bit too much here. Now honestly, I could probably play around with the levels of foam in here and try to fix that, but I don't really want to because the silver filter is doing such a good job anyway. Here is all I'm saying with that. The gold filter could be the perfect middle ground if that's what you're looking for, but I'm not actually sure because I think my pair is a bit off. Even though in my case the gold filter was slightly defective, I think that the silver and the black filters do such a good job that it still makes the Alfa Genus highly recommendable, and that's why I think that RockJaw has done something special here, because the Alfa Genus is so diverse that it can pretty much make anyone happy, and that's not something that you see every day. I love how effective the filters are, how comfortable the IEMs are to wear, and I also really can appreciate RockJaw's amazing customer service. They also have free next day shipping in the UK and free shipping to the rest of the world, so that's pretty cool too. I mean, it's a pretty nice company, really great IEMs, and it definitely gets my recommendation. So that's been me, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to subscribe to see more of these in the future. I know it's been a while since the last video, but I'm gonna try to make a few more coming up here. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.